Works to order. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Dan, would you start us off?
I certainly can. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, we have the roll call. Michelle?
Mayor Lynch,
Here.
Member Collins,
Here.
Member Lewis,
Here.
Member Young Johnson,
Here.
Member Williams.
Here.
We have the approval of the minutes from February 14th.
I make a motion to approve the minutes from February 14th.
I'll second the motion.
We have a motion and a second to approve the minutes. Is there any discussion, any corrections? If not, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. We have no unfinished business, new business, special event request, tempo run timing. Is someone here from tempo run timing? Since no one's here, I will entertain a motion to table that one.
I'll make a motion that we table the tempo run timing.
A second.
A motion and a second, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
We have the MS Warrior Dash. Hi. You can go to either mic.
Thank you for hearing me speak today. I am Stephanie Crook, and I'm representing the MS Warrior Dash 5K, 10K. We held this last year. Thank you, Board, for allowing us to do that. And we'd like to continue that mission to help the MS run the U.S., raise funds for people with MS in need of devices like wheelchairs and other essentials. The race is scheduled to take place on June 3rd at Imagination Glen West. Do you have copies of the race? Thank you. So I'm asking for approval to have this race in use of the trailheads as shown on the map.
Have you spoke to the park department?
Yes.
And will you be crossing any main thoroughfares?
The only road that is crossed in both the 5K and the 10K is Lenberg Road, seen on your map. And same as last year, we have volunteers who help get the runners across safely.
Okay. Chief, are you okay with that? It's all good?
Yep, we're good.
Okay. We'll need a motion to approve.
I'll make a motion we approve the MS Warrior Dash for June 3rd.
I second.
We have motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? If not, all in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Thank
That's a
you.
wonderful event, Stephanie. Good luck.
Thank you.
We have the award for the appraisal service for the purchase of right-of-way at intersection of Airport and Lute. Hi, AJ. I see you're going to be here with us for a while.
Good morning, Madam Mayor, members. Yes, at an earlier Board of Works meeting, the department sought authorization to seek appraisals for right-of-way at the intersection of Lute and Airport roads. We solicited 4 professional appraisal companies, and we've received responses from 4. We would like to recommend, based on the proposals, to proceed with valuation services for a total amount of $1,200, and Kovacevic and Company, Inc., in the amount of $2,000. I believe that Dan, or Attorney Whitten, that having 2 appraisals will help in any questions that may arise down the road.
I think that's correct. As you know, we're proceeding to speak with the property owners to make a purchase of that for the right-of-way we need for the traffic signal. So 2 appraisals is appropriate.
So, yes, thank you, Attorney Witten. So with that, we would like to recommend valuation services in the amount of $1,200. That's $1,200. And Kovacevic and Company in the amount of $2,000. Kovachevich.
I'll make a motion that we award the contracts, 2 separate contracts for appraisal services for the purchase of the right-of-way for airport and loop roads. The first to valuation services for $1,200, the second for Kovachevich for $2,000.
I'll second that motion.
We have motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Any questions? If not, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
We have the open and award quotes for the purchase and installation of new dedicated left turn signal on Lute Road and Willow Creek.
Yes, at a subsequent meeting, the Board of Works authorized the department to move forward with the solicitation of quotes for signal heads at the intersection of Lute and Willow Creek roads. We did solicit 3 companies, and it appears that we've received a response from one. The bid is from Hawk Enterprises, Inc., 1850 East North Street, Crown Point, Indiana, 46307. Again, this quote is from Hawk Enterprises, Inc. Their amount is $8,600. That's 8600 and 0 cents. It'd be staff's recommendation to take this quote under advisement for action at a subsequent Board of Works meeting.
I make a motion to take the quote under advisement from Hawk Enterprises for $8,600, pending department's recommendation and our attorney's review for the left turn signal, dedicated left turn signal on Lute and Willow Creek.
I second.
We have motion and a second. Are there any questions, any further discussion? If not, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Permission to seek quotes for sidewalk replacement at the intersection of Parkside and Brookline Avenues.
The department would be seeking the Board of Works permission to seek quotes for ADA ramp replacement and whatever sidewalk work may be required in those locations. We've been approached that these are in need of repair. They're in a location where we haven't very recently repaved the street. So those ramps, those locations are dated and in need of new ramps. With the dedication of funds from the City Council in this year's budget, these are the kind of things that we're able to do because those funds have been appropriated and are now under the review or the authority of the Board of Works. So we would be seeking your permission to solicit quotes for that work for hopefully the next meeting or the meeting after to open them.
I make a motion to approve permission to seek quotes for the sidewalk replacement at the intersection of Parkside Street and Brooklyn Avenue.
I'll second the motion.
We have motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? Any questions? If not, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Thank you.
We have the approval and acceptance of Deer Creek Estates Lift Station Performance and Maintenance Bond.
Madam Chairman, if I may, so you've got 2 bonds in front of you for consideration. One is pretty straightforward. It's the maintenance bond which will need this board's approval. The other is a performance bond and with an accompanying rider to that bond, and I don't know if you guys have the rider. So let me explain that then. So we have the performance bond, which was originally in the sum of $296,412.50. And that primarily addressed the lift station yet to be put in. Subsequent to that, there was a memorandum from Dunlin Group addressing some grading that also needs to be done. They have an estimate for $43,000 for the grading, which brings the performance bond number up pursuant to a rider from the bond company, and that new amount is $339,412.50, which is what you'll need to approve the bond along with the rider. Can you repeat that? I can. So with the rider, including the grading work, it's $339,412.50. It's my recommendation that you approve both bonds.
Are we talking about the $339,412.50 is the performance bond now?
That is correct.
So it's the bond plus the rider that we're approving? Are we approving the
No, that's not a good
maintenance?
way to say it. It's the bond as adjusted by the rider. It's not one on top of the other. It's the total amount for the performance is that $339,000 number.
So are we approving that separately than the maintenance bond?
You can. Yeah.
I'll make a motion that we approve the performance bond in the amount of $339,412.50.
I'll second that motion.
We have motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? If not, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And so the maintenance bond, the other one, the amount is unchanged at $196,180,275.
That is correct.
Okay.
I'll make a motion that we approve the maintenance bond in the amount of $196,180,275.
I'll second that motion.
We have motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Any questions? If not, all in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Motion carried. Okay, we have the approval of the elevator maintenance contract.
It'd be the department's recommendation to table. We have some questions on the professional service contracts that were submitted. It appears that there may be some numbers in there, and we'd like the opportunity to review with Attorney Witten prior to making a recommendation. So it'd be our request at this point to table until the next Board of Works meeting.
I'll make a motion to table the approval of the elevator maintenance contract pending review by staff and the attorney.
I second.
We have motion and a second to table the elevator maintenance contract. Is there any further questions? No questions? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Motion carries. We have bulk item appeals. Randy? Wonderful. We have the claims. The claims in the amount of $313,989.62.
I'll make a motion to approve the claims in the total of $313,989.62.
I'll second the motion.
We have motion and a second. Are there any further questions? If not, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Attorney Witten, do we have any major illness claim?
We certainly do, Madam Mayor, we certainly do. So there are 4 of them that I have signed off on, and it would be my recommendation to approve those 4.
Make a motion to approve the 4 major illness claims already approved.
I second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Is there any further business to come before this board?
I have
Yes.
one question. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead, Jamie.
I'm looking in, so my file says we have the minutes from the February 28th meeting, but those were actually the minutes from the February 14th meeting? So are we still missing the minutes from the 28th? I'm just kind of reading it, I'm just wondering if it's mislabeled. Because it says the minutes of the previous meeting, I meant to bring this up earlier, to approve the February 14th minutes. So I think these might actually be the 28th minutes.
I think you're correct.
It's just a typo.
I think you're correct. I remember, Chief, did we approve your tasers donation at our last meeting? All right, then these are the 28th.
My suggestion is to have someone make a motion to amend those.
I make a motion that we amend the minutes improperly marked as February 14th to the actual February 28th date.
A second.
We have a motion and a second to amend the minutes to reflect the correct date. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Good catch, Jamie. Thank you. I'm going to give you that. Okay, Randy.
All right, the street department is looking for permission to participate in the winter season of 23-24 for the state of Indiana road salt bid. We'd like to enter that. We have a deadline at the end of this month. I think it's March 24th to enter into that. So I'm just seeking the board's permission to participate within that bid for the state road salt for the season 23-24. We'll get snow then.
I thought we had all that salt left over from last time since we
Oh,
barely
well-
used any.
Our,
If we don't, it will snow 1,000.
yeah, we usually enter this every year. I get permission from the board, and what it does is it allows us to participate within that bid statewide, so they get the best possible price per ton for road salt. Last year, we ordered about 4,000 tons. The state bid is, it's got a particular amount that you have to meet, 80%, and you're allowed to go up to 120% over your allotment. So,
I make a motion to allow the street department to enter into the 23-24 process to purchase salt, road salt.
I'll second the motion.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any other discussion? If not, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
thank you.
Is there any other business to come before this board?
I have something, Madam Mayor, if I can.
You certainly may, Attorney Whitten.
Well, thank you so much. So I'm going to ask Chief Candiano to come up to the hot seat, and I'm going to hand something out to the board. It's the memorandum of understanding between the city and the school system. I'll let the chief get into the details, but I'm going to hand this out to you. We just got it yesterday, which is why you're getting it now.
Hello. I'm in disguise today. We had some outdoor range training today. It's a little cold, it's a little snowy, so I dressed more appropriately for that than this, so apologize for that. But what we have here is the MOU between the police department and Portage Township Schools. So we've already been working with an MOU. We obviously have 3 SROs that are in the schools right now, and we've kind of been essentially working with pretty much something similar to this document. So the big change here is what we're doing is we're going to be adding part-time SROs to the elementaries on a rotational basis. So kind of worked out a schedule with the schools. I think there's 8 elementaries in the district. And so we're going to be spending some time at the elementaries on a part-time basis. So essentially, that's what this is covering. So the school's actually paying for it. Our officers are going to get paid through the school for their time there, but we've entered into the agreement that, for the training, the hours, all the things that come along with offering a police officer to be at the school is pretty much what this covers. So pretty excited about this. As you know, about a little over 3 years ago, we had 0 in the schools. Now we've got 3, and we're going to be in the elementaries. So we've really gone the opposite direction from where we were. So I think this is a great thing. Again, right now, we pretty much have high school, the middle school's covered, and then if there's issues at the elementaries, then, we'll obviously respond out there, and our patrol units try to pop in there as they can, but this will actually be getting officers to be in the schools more, interacting with the kids, in a more scheduled way. So I think it's awesome, so.
Chief, just one quick question. Yeah, this is great that we're moving in that direction. How many new part-timers will be rotated in the elementary schools?
So right now I put out, we've been working on this for a couple months, so my last time I put out to see how many we had interested, I think I had 7 or 8. Now that we have the agreement, I'll probably put it out again and see if we can add a couple more. It's one of those, if you get too many, then it's not necessarily worthwhile for them to do it, because they want to, you want to get that familiarity, so you want to have enough of a variety, but not too much. So honestly, I'm thinking 7 or 8 is probably a pretty good number. If we ended up with 10, that'd probably be decent too. But that's where we're at right now. Is I've got 7 to 8 that are super interested in doing it.
So is the plan to have an equal number of hours in each of the 8 elementaries throughout the week?
Yeah, so I put together just kind of a rough schedule to kind of sort it out, and what we thought about is probably a 4-hour day, and then 2 hours at a school, and then go to another school for 2 hours. So if I'm the one working the part-time that day, I would probably hit 2 schools that day over a 4-hour period. And then we obviously want to switch it up so that it's not, say Kyle and Jones every Monday. We're going to stagger it so that it moves throughout the week, and then you've got different officers so that you are getting a little bit of variety, and then it's not that pattern of there's always a police officer at this school on Monday and there isn't one on Tuesday, kind of thing. So, yeah, that would be the plan right now. So,
All right, thank you.
yep.
Chief, are you looking, you might have said this, are you looking to have the rotation of the schedule be stable to where the students and the staff are familiar with the officers that are there, so they develop a rapport?
Yeah, obviously, to get it started, say a given officer has availability of 3 or 4 days a month, they might hit different schools, but then as we get rolling, then you'll come back around where then, the following week, they may be back at a school that they were at before. I think that's, if we're staggering the days on the schools, if they're rotating through and then officers are rotating through with their availability, it's just going to work out that you may, you'll probably hit all the schools at some point over the months, but you'll end up back at a school again. So, like I said, there's good and bad. I think in the high school and the middle schools, it's really good to have that officer that's there all the time, that you've got that relationship with. In the elementaries, it's obviously a different kind of policing in there. It's more just the interaction and things. So I think it's okay to have some variety so that, then they see, I like this officer, and I like this officer, and I like this officer, because they don't necessarily in the elementary need to go to, the students don't. Whereas in the high school, you build that relationship where then they're maybe telling you things or working with you on problems they've got at home and different things. So I think this is a great model for the elementary where, I've always been a proponent of having a steady face at the upper level schools, so.
Thank you.
And I just got to say it. So my experience originally with this was from the county side of things when I was in county government. But in the past, the school system and the prior police administration, that relationship, to say the least, was strained. There's just no other way to put it. And the resounding question that I was asked from school employees was, why aren't our local police in the school? Because that's the ones that the students see out on the street. And And as much as we tried to get that facilitated from the county side, it just didn't work. The relationship was bad. And it's from the efforts of the mayor and Chief Candiano, I got to tell you, that has built that relationship to the point where we can get to this. And this is just so essential for our students. From my time as a cop, it's just really important for our students to have a relationship with the police. So, well done, Chief Candiano.
Thank you.
Very exciting. Thank you for all you've done to make this happen. I know you've been working really hard on it, and it's something that's really important to our residents as well.
Yeah, and I'll say, and thank you for giving us some props, but, on the school side too, we've been talking about wanting to institute this, kind of got a plan together, and, they've been really good with working with us on having our officers in there. And there were a couple things that going back in that we wanted to accomplish, and they were good with listening to what we had to say. So it's just been a good partnership. So, we're continuing to expand on it, and we'll see where it goes. But I think this is great to have, a regular appearance of officers in our elementaries now. I think it's good for the kids. I think it's good for the community, so.
Yeah. Well, I'm excited. I have 3 children, and I have one in elementary, one in every age bracket. So I have one in high school, middle school, and elementary. And so I appreciate the hard work, and as a parent, you just have that safety and stability. So I appreciate the hard work. I just wanted to say thank you. And I did have another question.
Sure.
How soon, do you have a tentative date on when this will start?
So we just got this, so what we were going back and forth on was just a little bit of the compensation, just how it was gonna play out. So we arrived at that, I think, yesterday. So I sent out an email to my officers late yesterday and said, let's get going on paperwork and stuff. There's some stuff they need to finalize with the school over there, and then we'll start putting together a tentative schedule. So some of these officers work midnights, so it'll be just, it's essentially like we're ready to go as soon as they can get over, get paperwork signed, get a schedule put together with availability. So I'm hoping within, a couple weeks here. I mean, spring break's coming up, so I would hope that maybe even following after that, we can get rolling with this, so.
I make a motion to approve the MOU between, I guess, is it the city, police department specifically, and the Portage Township Schools for the SROs that will be in all of our schools starting soon.
I'll second that motion.
We have a motion and a second. Will this go before the school board too as well, or?
Yeah, it looks like on the paperwork, there's some signature spots for the school board, so I'm assuming that.
It will.
Yeah, thanks.
And I've been in communication with Attorney Elwood, who represents the school system, and I know that during, as the chief noted, going back and forth, kind of finalizing some of the language, he's been in communication with the board. So they've seen this, so I don't anticipate any issues on their side.
So this will have to come before their board, at their board meeting? Okay. I have no further questions. Anybody else have any questions?
As somebody who lives right in front of an elementary school, I'm all for it.
Perfect.
If there are no further questions, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
All right, thank you.
Thank you again, Chief, for
Thank you.
all of that.
Appreciate it.
And thank you to the superintendent of schools. She's a great person to work with. Is there any other business to come before this board at this time? If not, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
I make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second that motion.
We have motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Thank you all for your time today.